Hi everybody. Thought some people may be interested in having a look at a couple of different putters. You've probably seen this putter here before and may not have seen this one before. In case you haven't looked at anything else that I've got on my channel, I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what I like to kind of do with these putters. Is I get these old putters and the standards they had back in the day, kind of precision and things like that, probably weren't what you would think of today. So I use a piece of tile with a bit of double-sided tape on it, and then some fine grit sandpaper, and they go in here and polish up the side. And the sweet spot for these kinds of clubs is just in here. So I'm not too concerned with areas here where there's a little bit of chafing and things like that, and not too worried about the odd one or two like that. But I do like to just kind of get my face nice and straight, and I find that if I've got the face nice and straight, it helps line up the putt and gets my golf ball off at the right trajectory. Got a bit of bending on this one down here. I think it says John Letters, if I can get it to focus. It's not upside down, which it is. I just do this. There you go. Sorry for the camera work, could be steadier. Master Model Series by Mr. John Letters. Just carrying on down. Give everybody the top down view. This is something that I've done myself with this putter. So I've got a bit of tape, just created a bit of a gap between two pieces of tape, and then I just got some metal polish and I just polished in a line. And the way this works, if you see from this angle here, they don't line up, the two lines. If you get relatively over the top of them, they line up. And then if you're a little bit the wrong side of it, sorry I pumped the shaft there, they also don't line up. So I find that this is a nice way to get your head directly over the ball and the sweet spot and get everything all lined up. Another thing I like to do with these old bullseye style putters, you might notice that if especially you take it at this angle here, the leading edge, which is one facing this way here, you notice it's a bright light just through the reflection, and that gives me a perpendicular line to target. It helps me to line up the club as well, and haven't got a sweet spot lined up because it's basically just in there. There's actually a fault, I think, in the middle. Another thing that I also like to do with these old putters here as well is, this is waxed cotton paper. Oh, sorry, paper. Waxed cotton thread. Excuse me. And that's basically held on by friction. If I was to pick at one of these and get a bit of get it kind of unstack, it would just fall off. And it's partly done for decoration, but also I've noticed that, come on camera, here we go. I also noticed, because you see the shaft here, I'll show you, it's a bit falling to bits. But that's what happens when you get a little bit of it also helps, in my experience, with vibration dampening as well. And so on most of the other putters and things like that I've got, it's actually an easier way of seeing the whipping. You can clearly see the threads in there. You can see just in under here, if I can get my finger in there without upsetting everything, how it kind of tucks in under itself. Pull on that one and the whole thing will fall apart. But, if you're ever in a situation where you've got an old putter, both of these putters have got the old grips that I bought them with still on, haven't taken them off. All I've done is I've gotten a field hockey stick grip, and it's got a little bit of glue down the back of it, and I just wrap that on and wrap it over top, and it's rough and it's tough. It's nice and tacky and soft and everything. And I also think, just with a bit of, considering the aesthetic of these older style putters and things like that, it doesn't actually necessarily look too bad. I would actually prefer, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, that I didn't have the coarseness of the top of this one, and also that you'll notice that this particular one didn't wrap very well, so rather have a different, just to kind of give you a bit of an idea about what I'm talking about. Sorry, just stand up off the ground there. Golf Pride. There. And this one here. Don't know if you can see it. It's probably covered up a bit. The other interesting thing is you may notice with this one here, it's actually circular. But where my index finger is, there's actually a ridge. So there's a line grip. And if you're ever kind of trying all kinds of different putter grips and you've tried everything and it still doesn't feel comfortable, I've actually found that the grip for this particular putter is really, really nice. I actually quite like it, surprisingly. So yeah, that's something that I really enjoy. So yeah, anyway, I hope that you like it, and for those that have managed to stick with me for the last 7 odd minutes, just an interesting fact that I've picked up off another video from YouTube, and I'll put a link in the description to the channel. I believe that one of the Letters brothers travelled over to Australia. PGF is an Australian manufacturer golf club, and worked with them a bit. So I think that there is an actual physical relationship in terms of the brands, and so those two golf clubs could be cousins. And in terms of the sensations and the way that they work, from my experience, this putter here is amazing. It's really, really nice and buttery, and normally I put just a little touch of whipping down the bottom, just to kind of take away some of the vibrations and things like that. But with this particular putter here that I've got on my fingers, don't need it. And it's called the Golden Goose. And I'll just try that again. I don't know if it's obvious on this camera angle or not, but you might notice if you look at the highlights and shadows on the shaft, how there appears to be a bit of a funny kind of way in which that shadow kind of moves. Looks probably more obvious on this kind of an angle. It's got a bit of a gooseneck in it, and I think that might be one of the reasons why they called it the Golden Goose. Apart from the fact that it, if you believe fairy tales, lays golden eggs, but it's pretty good at putting on the green and things like that as well. So for now, I'll spend a bit of time just uploading this one up onto the internet, and I've got a few other putters that I'll walk everybody through as well, and I hope that you enjoy these ones, and I'll upload another video soon. Bye for now.